From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. Roz. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
Update.
Hello, Crystal. It's Roz and Mocha. Welcome back to Fix My Life. Last time we talked to you was just over a year ago, March of 2023.
Yes. How are you? I'm sorry. I woke up like this.
Oh.
I had a cold yesterday.
Oh, girl, that's okay.
And woke up like this, so I will do my best.
You got it. Crystal, I'm trying to go back here. When you first wrote us, you had just gotten out of an 18-year relationship, married for 12. You had an 8-year-old daughter together. You officially separated. And I believe what was going on at the time is that your ex had started dating again, and your daughter was sort of curious as far as what was going on, and you weren't in a position to start dating yet, and you weren't happy about that. You didn't know how to navigate that, especially with a kid. So do you take us back to that conversation and tell us what you remember about the first time we talked to you on FML.
Okay, so I had heard that he was dating someone through my daughter because she saw some text messages, and she wasn't sure how she felt about that. Mm-hmm. And at first I was fine with it because we were no longer together, and then I felt a little mad and sad because he had moved on and I definitely was not there.
Yeah.
And
I think that one of the things that we talked about was that you shouldn't have, like, you were feeling what was like pressure to, kind of get back into the game just because he was, and it was fine that you weren't ready for that yet. And
we didn't want you to rush.
Yeah, and I remember talking about like if you had needs, that's a different story. But actually dating and falling in love and all that stuff is if you're not ready for it, it's not a competition, Yeah. And
especially when you have a young kid involved here, right? With your daughter, right?
I'm the primary caregiver, so she's with me most of the time.
Okay, so that was a year ago. So what's the update?
Yes. So we officially got divorced in January.
Okay.
And thanks to you guys and thanks to a therapist, I realized that it is okay that I'm not emotionally there. And I worked on myself a lot and realized the issues that I had. And I'm still not dating anyone. I am going out with my friends and having fun, but I'm not in a serious relationship, and I'm happy with that. I was with someone almost 20 years, and it is nice to be free.
Yeah.
So my focus is my daughter and then myself and my career.
Amazing.
Is he still with the girl he was dating?
I don't know if he's with her. There has been a lot of girls that have come and gone.
Oh, wow.
Yes, from my daughter noticing texts. But he's never had a conversation with her. Hence, last Friday, he coaches my daughter's soccer team, and we're going to the game. And all of a sudden, my daughter sees Mommy, who is with Daddy? It was a girl that was walking with him. So she felt sick. She's like, I don't want to go out of the car. I feel really sick. And I'm like, well, if you want, we can leave, but it's not going to change things. Let's just go, play your soccer game, and let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. So he went on his side. She came and sat near me.
Who, the girl, the girlfriend?
Yeah.
And she knew who you were?
She did.
Okay.
She did. So I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, I went up to her right at the start of the game. And I'm like, hi, I'm Mike's ex-wife and Nicole's mother. And I just wanted to tell you, I have no problem you being here. We're not together. We're divorced. There's nothing there anymore. But my daughter was really upset when she saw you. We both had no idea that you were coming today, so I couldn't emotionally prepare her. Mm-hmm. And the girl actually was like, I am really sorry. I had no idea that he didn't mention anything to you, and I will leave. I said to her, no, that's fine. And she's like, well, I'm a mom as well, and I feel really bad, and I don't want to cause a problem. I was about to leave, and she just kept talking and talking and laughing. And my ex couldn't even coach the game. He kept looking over at us, and we're talking the entire game. She messages me. She tells me that she looked me up on Facebook, and we have a mutual friend.
So, like, what's the situation now? What's the relationship now between everyone?
This might be the same girl, because she said she's known him for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And they were friends, and now it's kind of turned into a little bit more. So she messaged me the next day on Facebook, apologized again. We've been talking every single day.
Oh, my God.
Hold on. You're now, like, kind of best friends with your ex's new girl?
Yes.
He must hate that.
Oh, he is so upset. I kept my distance from her. She keeps messaging me.
So where did you leave it now?
So she asked me to go for coffee on Saturday.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so she wants to date. She wants to date you now, too?
She said, well, if it doesn't work out with him, at least I met a really good friend.
Oh, my God.
So, Crystal, your FML update a year and a bit later is after getting a divorce from your now ex-husband, you have become really good friends with his new girlfriend. And he does not like any of this at all.
Yes.
All right, Crystal?
Okay. Well, that's a great update. Thanks so much, Crystal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
So, Maggie on FML, why are you here today?
Well, my dad has a drinking problem, and he won't admit it, so it's causing a lot of issues in my family.
You wrote us this, Maggie. Hey, Roz and Mocha, fix my life. We don't know how to talk to my dad about needing help in addressing the drinking problem. He acknowledged he had a drinking problem 4 years ago when my mom was threatening to leave him. Obviously, it didn't work, as they've now been separated since 2022. He was sober for 6 months and going to meetings, but then said he wasn't like them and didn't have a problem. He now drinks practically a case a day and is mentally abusive to us and complains that he's broke all the time.
Typically, how do the conversations go when you have the talk with him? Is it just you solo, or like do you have siblings to talk to him as well? Is it like kind of a group effort? Explain how these convos go.
Yeah, so I do have younger siblings, so I'm the oldest, so I'm the one that kind of takes the brunt of everything. But the conversation goes, again, he says he can stop when he wants, and that, again, he doesn't have an issue, whether he sees it or not.
So what is I'm not saying that drinking a case of beer a day, I mean, it's an excessive amount of alcohol. But what is the issue that you're worried about? Is it that when he does drink, he is belligerent and hurtful and that kind of thing? Like when you look at the amount that he's drinking and his unwillingness to sort of get ahead of it, what do you see is being the problem? Is it his health? Is it how he acts? Like, what is the problem?
It's a little bit of everything. Health, I mean, he says, well, if I die in 5 years, I don't care.
Okay.
Right? Again, mind you, we still have our whole lives ahead of us.
Yeah.
And he does get, I guess, stupid, for lack of a better word. Like, he called me at 2 a.m. last week because he said he couldn't find his dog, but his dog was sleeping in the room the whole time. You know what I mean? But he was so drunk that he didn't realize it. And once he realized it, he got all mad and freaked out, as opposed to, apologizing.
Is he at home alone?
No, he lives with my sister.
Oh, okay.
And then he went to meetings and he said that he wasn't like them. What did he mean by that?
So he said, like, these people can't stop, and, like, they're crying and they're losing everything, and I'm not like that. Like, I can stop when I want to stop.
Yeah, you have to be, listen, AA has helped a lot of people in this world, but the one thing where, it's going to fail certain people is that you have to accept God when you go to AA, and that just doesn't work for some people, right? Like, you sort of have to surrender yourself to a higher power. A lot of, drinking and admitting, he knows it's a problem, he just doesn't think the problem is bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knows he's drinking a lot. He opens 24 beer a day. Like, he knows the amount that he's drinking, and obviously he knows it's not healthy because he says, if I die in 5 years, who cares, right? So he knows all this stuff. So you trying to get him to admit to something that he already knows is sort of a lost cause. right? I think that you're going about this the wrong way. I think it's to try and figure out why he is drinking like this. I don't necessarily subscribe to the disease part of alcoholism. I think that a lot of it is loneliness, and a lot of it is patterns, and a lot of it is habits, and a lot of it has to do with where you see yourself in the excuses that you make. They treat it like it's a disease, but I don't necessarily think that it is or believe that it is. And then other people disagree with me. But I think that he's probably sitting in a place right now of just great unhappiness. And that is a terrible place to be. And so he's weighed it out in his mind saying, being oblivious during the hours that I'm awake in a day, regardless of the long-term effects or the short-term effects, if I die in 5 years, are better than feeling the way that I feel when I'm sober. Okay, and that's the conversation you have to have. It's not about getting him to admit it. He already knows it. You're telling him something he already knows. It's trying to figure out why he is so hurt and feels that dealing with the hurt this way is better than dealing with the hurt another way.
Okay.
Does your mom have conversations with him, or is there like zero communication whatsoever?
Well, this was one of the contributing factors as to why they separated.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So, not really.
Yeah, I would, instead of just getting him to admit that he has a problem and say, just stop drinking, it's not like like his body, like he will get sick if he stops drinking, right? Like that's what happens. There's a, when you're consuming that much alcohol, it's dangerous to just stop. First of all, it's like a drug addict, right? That's why, cold turkey could kill you, right? So I think that the conversation is more of, why is he filling that hole the way that he is, and let's talk about why he is so hurt and why he feels the need that this is the sort of best way for him to live and the best way for him to deal with the pain that he's going through, because it's obvious that he's in pain. And I think that that's what you need to have a conversation about, is not why are you drinking so much, it's why are you in so much pain. And I think that that's a compassionate way to go at it.
Okay.
Does that help, Maggie?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry you're going through this.
Thank you.
All right. You take care.
Thanks, Jill. Bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Yo, Katie, what's up? It's Roz and Mocha.
Hi, Roz and Mocha.
All right, Katie on FML. Why? Why are you here?
I need help with the choice to move or not to move.
Oh, wow. Katie, you wrote it, says, hey, Roz and Mocha, fix my life. 2.5 years ago, my husband and I and our 2 children relocated to another province due to his job opportunity. Shortly after that, my parents also sold their house and relocated out here to be close to us. Wow. I've never felt at home out here and have pretty much regretted the move since it happened. I'm wondering how am I ever going to make this home permanently when I'm not happy here? Do we tell my parents, who left their jobs and moved out here to be close to us, that we're now packing up and moving back? Ooh. Or do I just suck it up and find a way to be out here long term? Jeez.
Where did you move from? Where do you live now?
We moved from a small town between Kingston and Ottawa in Ontario, and we moved out to a town outside of Calgary, Alberta.
Oh, wow. That's a big move.
Does your husband also hate it out there?
No.
Oh, he loves it?
Doesn't. Yeah.
So it's just you.
So wait a second. So you're like, when you're talking about how do you tell your parents that you're just going to pack it up and move back, like you're assuming that your husband is willing to just leave the job that he loves in a place that he's very comfortable in?
He is willing. We have had those conversations, and although he really enjoys it out here and he loves the people that he works with, he did also love it, Ontario, and he would be fine with transitioning back.
Does he have a job back here to go to?
There isn't a current opportunity, but there is opportunities regularly that come up, yes.
Okay, and what about you? Do you work?
I do.
And you'd be able to also find work moving back?
I would be able to work remotely, yes.
Okay.
What do you dislike about your current situation so much that you are just racked with guilt and regret?
Yeah, so I think that although I could list off a number of things, it's an emotional feeling, I think, for me. Where we had been before, I had sort of envisioned this was where we were going to be, this is where we were going to raise our children. And coming out here, it's a significantly different environment than what we were in because we couldn't spend a lot of time out here before. I wasn't under the right impression of what this area was, and I'm just not satisfied.
So what does it not, what are you not satisfied with?
It's very much city life, and we were so adamantly against wanting to be in the city. We had come from a small town, and I think because we couldn't spend a lot of time out here before, we had really reached out to people to try to find out what the community was like, and we were sold on that it was a small town, but it had city-like amenities, and that's just not the case. It's it's essentially living in a small city. We're clustered. We're on top of each other.
So why don't you move farther outside of the city?
There are places outside of Calgary, outside of where you live, that are exactly what you're looking for.
Yes, and because they are all built the same way by essentially the small handful of builders that are out here, the environments are all the same. The driveway sizes are the same that don't accommodate our vehicles. The backyards are the same. We have 2 large dogs, and the property sizes are all the same because it was built up in such a short period of time.
But why don't you why don't you go find a place on like an acre, like in the middle of nowhere, but still close to town?
There isn't a lot of that out here. We have done a lot of research, and my husband is distance restricted because of his work.
How old are your kids?
5 and 3.
And are they happy there?
Yes.
Okay. They got friends?
Yes.
They like their teacher?
Yes.
They come home after school and they play in the backyard and they have a great time?
Yes.
They like being close to their grandparents?
They love that, yes.
They like that their dad comes home happy at the end of the day?
Yes.
Okay.
I know where you're going with this.
So you gotta...
Yo, Roz is listening up. Pro. 0 cons.
Yeah, I know.
So the problem is you.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Okay.
Have you had a conversation with your folks about this? Like,
a
to the
little
extent
bit.
that what you're telling us?
Yes.
And what do they say?
They are the most amazing people in the world, and they say that we should go wherever we're happy because home is a feeling, and if we're not happy here, we should go back. But they don't think that they can.
I worry that what you are holding on to isn't going to be here when you get back.
Mm-hmm. It's a memory.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
I think that you are nostalgic. And I think that you're somebody where this is probably the first real big change that you've ever had to make, and you're grappling with it. And change is not easy. But I think that when you made this decision for your family, okay? And you guys made it as a family. And right now, it seems to me that the family is thriving. So I would look at this and go, God damn, you know what? It's not ideal for me, but the decision that I made, look at this family. Look at the results of this decision we made. Everybody is thriving. The family's close. We came together. We made a choice. We moved across the country. And look at us. We're doing great.
Yeah, no, you are right. We are. Everything is great. It's just me.
Yo, is part of the reason too because them Calgary winters are brutal?
They are insane. They take a toll on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Your home, your car, your body.
Yeah. No, listen, when I lived out in Calgary, it was like the worst winter I'd ever experienced. And it was a quote unquote normal winter for Calgarians. I'm not built for that.
I know.
Yeah. But you knew that going there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't understand it till you live it. But yes, I was aware.
Yeah, I feel you, girl.
I think sit down with your parents. You sound like you guys are incredibly close. Sit down with your husband and just and open up and say, guys, listen. You know, I look around, everybody's thriving, but I feel terrible because I'm not. And the feelings that I have, you know, I'm thinking some stuff here where I'm like, I want to reverse course on everything. But I need you to sort of just talk me down here. I need you to help me find like some sort of happiness, and it may take a while, but I'm going to need. This is an all-team effort here because right now everyone's doing great and everyone's happy and I'm not, but I want to get to that point. I don't want to have to run. I don't want those feelings.
But I think it is important for you to be able to express your feelings and talk to your family about it.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that made it the hardest is because everyone was so supportive that it was like, okay, thanks, guys. Way to give me my out. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Does talking about it with us at least help a little bit, Katie?
Yeah, it definitely brings me back down having an outsider's opinion who isn't trying to just make sure I'm okay, but who's being honest about all of us as a unit. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Katie. All the best.
Good luck to you and your family, love.
Thank you guys so much.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
Roz Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is,
Got a problem you can't fix.
Roz and Mocha got you.
Emma, hello. It's Roz and Mocha. How are you?
good, how are you?
Good. Why are you on FML today? Let everyone know.
So coping with a client's terminal illness is deeply challenging emotionally.
You wrote us this. Hey, Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. In my work, I have the privilege of engaging closely with individuals on a one-on-one basis. I've developed strong bonds with one of my clients who is currently battling cancer and their health is declining. I'm finding it incredibly difficult to cope with the situation. I've been devastated and my emotions are quite overwhelming. How can I begin to mourn the impending loss of someone who is still here but approaching the end stage of their illness? It's tough. What are you having the hardest time with, Emma?
Just the thought of her being gone.
Yeah.
And watching her get just declining more and more. Just a couple of weeks ago she was healthy and now all of a sudden she's not, and it's just really hard to process.
Have you had to go through this before, like with other clients? Have you experienced, I guess, death with other clients?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But this one specifically hits different. Why?
Because I'm closer with them and I've been with them since I started this job, and
Got it. And like, you know, the family and everything?
yeah, I know whole family, her friends, everybody.
So are you like a friend or are you a caretaker? Like, what's the relationship that you have?
I'm her caretaker, but
Okay.
it's grown into being her friend.
I got you. Yeah, it's tough, and you try in businesses like yours to not get too attached and to not build those bonds, but sometimes you meet people who just blow you away, and it's inevitable, and you build this friendship and you fall in love with them, and you can't imagine a life without them, even though the reason you're there is to sort of get them through this process, right? To the end. And I think that you need to just lean on, when it comes to you dealing with the impending death and the grief that's going to come after that. I think that what you should be leaning on is how valuable you are to them. You're there to help them through this process, this inevitable process. And I think that the thing that you both should do is to not waste these moments and the opportunity to say goodbye to each other, because that's what you should be doing during these sort of last moments, and don't let that go by.
Okay, yeah, I should do that. I've been too focused on trying to distract her from it.
Yeah, don't, because every time you distract her from having one of these conversations or actually sitting down and talking to one another, when she is gone, you're going to remember every single time you didn't want to have that conversation, and you're going to wish you did.
Yeah.
And also know that you're making a difference in this woman's life,
Huge.
right? Like, you are a part of her life right now, and you're probably the one person that she sees the absolute most.
Oh yeah,
Right, so you got to cherish those moments.
It's tough. This process, when you're helping somebody kind of get to the end, is very difficult, but it is a beautiful thing that somebody can do for somebody else. So just know that in your life, what you're doing is really, really beautiful, and not everybody gets that. Not everybody has somebody who is going to be there with them, through the last of their life. And just don't waste those moments. If you care about this person, even though you're a caretaker, you care about them, you love them, and say the things that you want to say. Don't hold back, because there will be no regrets if you don't hold back. You're going to go through guilt if you hold back when they're gone. Trust me on that. You will.
I have this is a really weird thing. I was really angry about it for a while, and now I just feel this empty pit in my stomach about it, but I'm mad at myself for being angry about it.
Like, you were angry at your feelings, like how close you got with this woman and her family? Or are you angry at the fact that you know that she's going to die?
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
That's normal, though. Like, everything you're describing right now,
completely normal.
Everything you're describing right now is the feelings that everybody goes through when they lose a loved one.
Yeah.
Like, I know that you're their caretaker and they're a client, and it's work. But I think that you need to still be able to do your job. But I think that, every now and then you gotta sort of dial it back and realize that the feelings you're feeling aren't part of the job. The feelings you're feeling are very normal, and what everybody goes through when they lose someone they love.
When I lost my grandpa, I wasn't this sad. And I don't understand that.
But did you have this kind of relationship with your grandpa?
No,
No,
not at
that's
all.
why. That's why. It's not just about the person who it's not about the dying. It's
who that person is and
it's
what your
who-
relationship is like.
It's who you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're allowed to
Right?
feel all the feelings, Emma.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay? I know. It's tough. It's friggin'
but
tough.
just say the things you want to say.
And it's
Say-
going to be emotional and it's going to be heartbreaking, but I think that she'll say some things back and you guys are going to share some beautiful moments together, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Emma.
I think.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.